Hello and welcome back. Fuck, damn it. I really jumped into it.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to the Geekday Podcast, where we turn your weekday into a geek day. I am one of your co-hosts, Rob, and with me today, of course, my other co-host, Mr. Alex Moon.
Hey.
Oh, wow. Alex, we're doing this.
We are.
This is insane. This is 7 years in the making.
Is it 7 years in the making or 7 years that we just picked it back up?
Yeah, exactly that right there. But hey, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on episode 0, as we're calling it. This is our kind of new...
Oh, that was a joke.
Okay.
I guess it's episode 0. We're good.
It's episode 0. We did episode 0 the first time. So
Yeah.
If anything, this is a callback to the original. Well, this is the reboot right here.
Yes.
But Alex... What is the Geekday Podcast? I feel like we've mentioned it a lot on One Common Creatures, and then just on your lives sometimes.
Well, before we get to what the podcast is, why don't? Because anyone new, let me flip this. Anyone new or watching us might be like, "Who are these guys?"
So true.
And why should we give a shit? The short of it is you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But the
just
second,
two guys.
two guys, one cup, and but I think it would be good to have a little introduction onto to who we are. Robert, why don't you go first?
Yeah. So I'm Robert Rob. Right now most known for being the GM of Common Creatures, the TTRPG. So yeah, I do a lot of tabletop RPG stuff. I play a lot of video games, read a lot of comics, read a lot of books. I have a small little account on TikTok if you want to go follow me at I'm Robbie T on there. But I'm just a dude that just loves just nerdy stuff so much, and I have so many opinions, and this podcast equipment was very cheap. So I was like, might as well just jump right into it.
And the barrier to entry
is so low.
It's so low to get people to hear what I have to say.
And so now you are stuck here. Don't turn it off. Don't you dare turn it off. But now you're here to listen to myself and my co-host, Mr. Alex Boone's podcast. So Alex, who are you?
Who am I? Well, I think that's the big question we all ask ourselves when we get up out of bed. But no, my name's Alex Moon. I run a TikTok and Instagram account where I talk about nerdy stuff. It's a lot of yelling. It's a lot of complaining. But no, genuinely, I'm really big into comics, superhero stuff, movies, and stuff like that. So I've talked about that for years. I've always been into comics and movies and stuff. Robert's known me since high school, and he's known I've always been a virgin. And to this day, still am. I'm very blessed to have a child.
Immaculate conception right there.
Yeah, exactly. At least that's what my wife says. So no, but I've always been into that. Robert, you might also know me from the Common Creatures podcast. I play the character of Shithidion on that podcast. Robert graciously invited me when there was no other options, and it's been great. And we've gotten to reconnect doing podcast stuff, and I was super excited because Robert and I have always kind of in doing that for Common Creatures, there's often been where you've been like, hey, if you ever want to,
yes, we can just bring back
we can do it. Yeah. and I've kind of been like, okay. And I think we both at one point went like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, let's go ahead. Especially, and we'll get into it later. Now is just such a great time to be a nerd and be into a lot of these different nerdy things. There's a lot of great stuff to celebrate, a lot of great things to bitch about. So I'm super excited. But yeah, so Rob, with that being said, and we've kind of covered it a little bit. I was going to say what we've both been up to, and we've kind of covered it.
Yeah.
A bit. But Rob, a curveball that I didn't put on the run of show that I'm going to throw at you.
Okay.
In the late 1700s. No,
okay, yeah. No. Hey, I was a history major for one semester, so I got you, man.
Robert's all like, I know what Jim Crow is. No, but I wanted to ask you, in doing this show again, what are you most excited about, or what are you most what are you the most hopeful for with doing this?
Absolutely, yeah. So I honestly think that the thing that I'm most hopeful for, the thing I'm most excited for, I am no longer on most social medias. So I'm not on Twitter or X or anything like that. I have an Instagram and a TikTok, and that's really about it. So I'm not able to get
I'm not on most social media except the two major social media platforms.
But I mean, I'm not able to kind of just throw out my unnecessary opinions.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. I feel like if I see something in the news that comes across, TikTok or Reddit or whatever, I'm like, no one gives a shit about what I say.
You don't have everything's a vacuum. You don't have a place to aim.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hear you.
On Twitter, I used to just here's my opinion. You're going to devour it. But no, now, honestly, I'm super excited to, I still always go back to the original days of us in high school, being the two big nerds and being dude, did you see this trailer? And then being able to have that conversation and see kind of like how we are so similar, but we have such different
opinions.
Yes.
Yeah. Like we both like the same things, but I think for different reasons all the time.
Very much so.
But yeah, no, I remember doing that in high school and seeing the Red Sea just part when everybody was like, fuck.
Yeah. It's like all the nerds are talking about, let's get out of here.
And they're like, we'll go talk about Kanye West over here.
But yeah, I mean, like that's honestly the biggest thing. It's just being able to have at least one day to just sit down and like, here's all the news that happened this week, and this is what my opinion is, and kind of just talk about it. Just be able to, have that conversation that I feel like I'm not able to really have so often. But what about you, man?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. I was completely unprepared. With that being said, here's my prepared statement. No, I'm super excited. One, because I have fallen in love this year again with making content, whether it's the Common Creatures podcast we do, whether it's just TikTok and Instagram stuff I do. I just really enjoy it. It's really fun. So I'm excited about this, but I'm also excited to put out a piece of content that my work is the personality part and you can do the technical part.
Absolutely.
But no, I think what genuinely I'm most excited about is having the opportunity to do more, putting out something for a community. That's I think in all the content stuff I've been doing, the most fun that I've had is building a community, getting to throw out your opinion and having people, people who latch on to things online or latch on to you as an individual, latch on because y'all have similar tastes, similar interests, or they just fuck with you. And that's super, one, rewarding and really humbling, but two, it's dope to build that community. So I'm really excited about doing this, building more of a community. I think me and you, whether it's from the other podcast or from just the different stuff we do online, it gives us an opportunity to kind of already hopefully push some of that community towards this and to make an even bigger community off of something a little more long form, not just the short forms, at least for me. I know we do the other long form stuff, but yeah, that's what I'm most excited about is community.
So now here's a curveball to your curveball.
Oh God.
So you threw that at
Jackie
me.
Robinson, number 42.
Shout out Chadwick Boseman. I want to go ahead and throw this at you. 3 things, nerdy things, to sum up who you are as a person.
Oh, that's good. I would say 3 nerdy things sum me up as a person. I would say comic books. That's a big one. Comic books. Okay, this might sound super basic, bitch, right? But for me, it's going to be comic books. And it's going to be movies, because as much as I love superhero movies, I also just like film as a medium. I remember even back in the day, me and you would just talk about films. It didn't necessarily have to be like superheroes or whatever. So comic books, film, and you might not be able to tell. Captain America.
What?
He's like, huh? Is this your set? But yeah, no, Captain America.
That's awesome.
But and I'm sure we'll get into why at some point.
Yeah.
But Rob, what about you? What are the 3 nerdy things that you think?
I mean, like 1, 2. I love Spider-Man, man.
Captain Adam. Oh,
yeah. I have Spider-Man tattooed on my body as well, here on my arm. Of course, he's the gateway drug that comes to really any comic book. But man, I just love Spider-Man so much. I think number 2 would probably be something that I have discovered a little bit more like lately, which is, man, I love the X-Men. Like I just like
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
I'm reading all of the Claremont. I started the original Claremont run, and I'm going straight through. I finally just hit 195, as well as like the Nightcrawler, the Kitty Prydes, and all the other like individual ones. Yeah, so it's taking a lot of time. And then 3, I would also say just movies. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
It's like being able to just sit down and like enjoy a story, and then afterwards be like, what did you actually like about this versus what I like about it? If I had to cut into something, I would also just add video games. I'm a huge video gamer as well. I try to not play as much as I do nowadays, but I still love the storytelling of video games. I am like a ride or die for certain video games, and I can't wait to talk about some of those video games here on this podcast.
Dude, yes, me too. I'm super hyped about it. Now, Rob, I'm going to throw a curveball to your curveball to my curveball. Now, I'm super excited that we're going to get into some topics, I promise. This is just the preamble because it's our first time being back. But Robert, one, I want to thank you very much for 2 things. One, for giving me the opportunity to do this show with you again. And also, to be totally honest with you, for 4 seconds.
Okay.
And I never want to hear about it again.
I'm ready.
Okay. I want to thank you for pushing me on this content journey with Common Creatures, with this one, and for being one of the best friends that I have. Even though we don't get to see each other a lot, we don't necessarily hang out a lot outside of the creative endeavors we do, you're definitely someone who I know is always there for me and my family, so I appreciate it. And because of that, I got you a little gift.
I'm not fucking ready for this. God damn it. How long has this been here?
How long has it been here?
Yeah.
Well, so I got you a little gift. Oh, God. It's just some comic books, but some comic books that I saw that I was like, I thought of Robert immediately, so I want to give them to you. And so just as a thank you for all the stuff that you do, especially because, you know, if I got to give you some comic books to get you to edit all this for free, you know, I'll happily do that. So Rob, here are some comics that I got for you.
Oh my God.
So here, I'll let you look at those and you can tell the people what they are.
It's X-Men #1 right here. God, oh, fuck. Uncanny X-Men 268. Oh my God, this is
so that, because I saw that you were collecting like Youngblood stuff. So that's Youngblood. What is Strikefile, right?
Strikefile, yeah.
And it's signed by Jay Lee, one of the artists on that book.
Dude.
So they did a limited signing of like fucking 100,000 or whatever the fuck that is.
But still, I mean, like, dude, that's fucking awesome. Dude, so, thank you. That's
of course,
awesome.
of course.
I'm gonna cry later on. I'm definitely gonna cry later.
Do it while you touch yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My wife is just gonna be like, "What is going on?"
Use the tears for loop. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you those.
Hell yeah! Thanks, man.
So where's my gift? No,
I actually I gave you some comics the other day too. So
no, but like right now.
Oh
yeah, where's my thing?
So later on, you didn't give me our TikTok. We're going to be opening.
No. We talked about it. But what's like my separate gift that you got specifically for me?
These X-Men 95.
Yeah, no, like not that thing, but like the thing that you got. You know what I mean? Because like I went through all the trouble to get you that.
And one of these.
So like, what did you get for me to show you your appreciation for my friendship?
And one of these is going to be yours.
Because you know, it kind of feels no. No,
let's go ahead and jump into it. Yeah,
you have to give me shit. But yeah, no, I want to give those to you. I was super excited. So I full transparency, when I was doing my Whatnot haul stuff, I saw these and I was like, I need that because I want it for Rob. And then that's one I used to have, and I hope you know that hurt me a little bit to give away. But no, this is just an iconic cover, an iconic like key cover. And I was like, I don't know if he'll put it up, but if he does, that's one that's going to look great.
Oh, yes,
on your little comic book wall.
It'll be hung up on my wall. Hell yeah. It'll be standing here.
But yeah, let's get into these topics. Rob, do you want to introduce the first topic?
Yes, I do. Believe it or not, guys, it's been a great week for us as comic fans. Not a great week for people that make comic book content for movies, because a lot of stuff has been leaked and there's just trailers galore. So first sort of thing overall, man, we got Supergirl, we got Doomsday, we got supposedly, as we talked about before this, Spider-Man Brand New Day content coming out.
Yeah.
I want to kind of talk about Supergirl first because
that's the official one. The official one got released that they meant to show us.
Yes, and then we'll probably go to a little bit of the stuff of Doomsday and Spider-Man, but you know, there's not too much that's in there.
And we will give a spoiler warning to anybody that like maybe doesn't want to see that.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and I'll say this to make it work for Robert later. We'll put it in a timestamp for after we talk about spoilers.
There we go.
I say that because I won't be the one doing the work.
But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into Supergirl.
Yes.
This is Millie Alcock's Supergirl.
Yes.
And do you remember when she got casted? Because I remember when the news came out for like, oh, hey, we're having Millie Alcock. And immediately I was like, this is phenomenal. Did you know Millie Alcock before?
No, I wasn't super familiar with Millie. I wasn't super familiar with her when we saw the casting announcement. I was kind of like, okay, you know, I was a little indifferent, I'll be honest with you. But I saw the brief glimpses we got of her in the Superman movie. I was like, okay, I'm here for it. I'm here for whatever this interpretation is going to be. Especially because afterwards you actually had lent me Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is what this one's going to be based on. So after reading that, seeing a little bit of the character work that she did, again, very briefly in Superman, I was hooked. But you said you're already kind of hooked on her. You've seen her in other things.
I mean, she hasn't really been in too much, but the big thing that she came out was season 1 of House of Dragon.
Okay.
So she is the main character in like the first part of House of Dragon, and as like the character, there's like a weird time skip to an older version of her. But man, she is phenomenal in House of Dragon. She is so charismatic, and when she's on the screen, man, like she steals the show. So when she was announced as Supergirl, I was like, cinema. It's like that Martin Scorsese cinema. Thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, oh, this is absolutely perfect. Then the trailer drops. I mean, well, the teaser trailer. The teaser for the teaser trailer dropped,
Yes.
and then the teaser trailer dropped, and immediately I was sucked into this, man, because we have kind of differing opinions of Woman of Tomorrow. I think we both like it, but different.
I think you for the comic Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King, right? Tom King or Tim King? Tom King. I think you appreciated it much more than I did because I love it. In an Oreo fashion, a bad Oreo fashion.
Okay.
Like the top, so good. So, and is opposite for an Oreo, I guess. So reverse Oreo. But like the beginning part of that book is so good. The setup for it is so good. The middle, a lot of it is a fucking slog, I feel like. For me, the ending is so good. So it's one of those things that like great beginning, great end. The middle is such a mixed bag for me.
I think there's some really cool things that are in that are definitely going to get cut from the final movie.
Hope.
Yeah, because I mean, there is a lot of fluff in there. Because I mean, it is like a 16 issue.
Is it 16 issues?
It's like 12 to 16. It's around there.
I don't know.
But there's definitely some stuff that needs to be cut from there. There are some things that I'm very excited to see. I hope they do. I'm not going to go into any spoilers for anybody that wants to do it, but like Green Planet thing.
That is probably the biggest thing because that issue was my favorite issue of that, which again is well, Women of Tomorrow is only 8 issues.
What?
Yeah, it's only 8 issues. That's why I was like 16 sounds like way too many because the graphic novel that it's in is pretty thin. It's about on par for like 6 to 7 issues. So I was thinking it was like 6 or 7, but no, it's 8. But I hate you. For our audio listeners, he's 6'7" right now.
Yeah, just 6'7".
Oh God, he's jumping on the table. Audio listeners, he's flipping. He's now 69. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, and well, I wanted to bring up the director for Supergirl. Mm-hmm. I was not super familiar with Craig. Is it Gillespie?
I think so. Gillespie.
Gillespie. I wasn't super familiar with him, and I was looking up some of his stuff right now, and the stuff he's known for. One of them I've actually seen.
I, Tonya. Right?
Tonya. Yeah, that's the one where I'm like, okay. I mean, interesting director choice, I guess. I was never super hype on the director.
I think they're doing the same thing that James Gunn is at the head of the DCU now, so I think he's doing the same thing that Marvel did, where it's like, hey, let's get these directors that have kind of like they're kind of known, but like are more obscure. So like originally with like the Russos kind of coming in, now they're like superstars and stuff.
Of course, and I think if anything though, like even with the pedigree that we do know, like I, Tonya, he does character work great.
Yeah,
and that's probably arguably the most important part, especially for this story with the stuff she deals with in the book. We're not going to spoil it, but it seems like it's almost, and I made a video on it, like it seems like it's almost directly adapted. It doesn't seem like, because there's a lot of like, for example, I know I talked about it previously, the like year one Batman. There's a lot of year one-esque Batman stuff that shows up in the Robert Pattinson movie, in Batman Begins, in, XYZ, but it's always inspired. There's like scenes, there's iconography. This looks like it's 1-to-1, like pretty close. Again, I would probably say this is more akin to like a Percy Jackson, a Harry Potter, where it's an adaptation of the actual story, not like, hey, let's take inspiration from this and make our own thing.
Yeah, like how the new Superman with David Cornsweet was inspired by All-Star Superman.
Yeah, and it's really nothing like All-Star Superman. There's not like, but I mean the vibes.
Yes.
You get the vibes, but it's not. There's like no story beats taken from All-Star Superman.
But like there are specific like quotes from the comic that are in this teaser trailer.
Yes, the Krypton stuff I'm super excited about, insanely excited about that.
So we're not going to talk about too much of the story, but I think one of the things that we can talk about, since it's not in the story, is Jason Momoa as Lobo. Now, this is one of the ones, Jason Momoa, since they announced the DCU, was like, James Gunn Lobo. Like, like me Lobo now. Me
Lobo now. He should have been Lobo before.
He should have.
Yeah, and I remember even back then when he was getting like back in, what was it, like 2013? People were doing edits of Jason Momoa as Lobo before it was just AI. So we were getting shitty edits of Jason Momoa as Lobo, and everybody was like, "That would be so cool." And then he came out as Aquaman, being like, "Yeah," and everyone's like, "That's Lobo." But hearing that cast, Robert, and knowing kind of what Jason Momoa is, and we see him for like half a second, right? But like, what is your kind of takeaway from that? Are you excited? Are you kind of like, like, oh, it's just going to be Jason Momoa and Lobo makeup, or,
So for the movie overall, very excited. I think this is going to be one that like I've not been this excited for a comic book movie in a while. Like even like thinking about the ones that we're going to be talking about a little bit later, Doomsday and Spider-Man and stuff. Like I'm like, oh, that's cool, but like I guess I'll go see it. This is when I'm like, oh no, I'm same how I felt about Superman with David Cornsweet, being like, I'm going to be there day one if I can get tickets, and I'm going to see this movie because I'm just so excited. It's a story that I know. And then, actually, I don't really know too much about Lobo himself overall. I mean, I've seen him in like, DC animated universe stuff that I'm like, okay, cool. He's the guy that says like, I'm fragging over here, or Bastitch, or,
Well, see, I feel like Lobo is a character where you don't need to know a lot about him. Like, if you just get the gist of Lobo, that's pretty much it. Like, he's kind of like Deadpool. Like, he at least on a surface level. I know Deadpool fans are going to be like, how fucking dare you? He's so tragic in the comics. And it's true, but like you can get a pretty good understanding of Lobo as a character. Just if you know that, you pretty much know Lobo, because I would say he's the same in the comics, pretty much.
Yeah, I would say like the only time I've ever actually read like Lobo is the recent DC KO Wonder Woman versus Lobo, and I was like, okay, I think I've had enough of him. But I feel like with Jason Momoa as like the helm of this character, that it's gonna be not necessarily like vastly different, but just knowing how he is as like an actor, I can definitely see him like having the time of his life with this character.
Oh yeah.
What about yourself?
Well, I mean, I've always been excited for Jason Momoa, and I've said it a couple times. I think that there's always like, oh, this person was born to play XYZ. Like with Robert Downey Jr., with, people say it like with Chris Evans, the first Mr. Fantastic, I forgot the fucker's name. But I feel the opposite about Jason Momoa. I feel like Lobo was created because Jason Momoa was born.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So like it matches so well. And I know we saw him for like a second, and I ain't talking about that, but just the idea of what Jason Momoa can bring to that character, I'm super hype about.
Hell yeah.
So I'm super excited. But like you said, I'm interested to see how they're going to weave him in, how they're going to use him. And I hope, my hope personally, and I think you probably have the opposite hope, I hope that we see him briefly and not a lot.
Oh, no, I'm 100% with you.
Yeah.
I think that like the story of Women of Tomorrow is so like good enough already. I do think he's going to act more as kind of like
world building.
Yes, world building, as well as like an extra thing to keep them moving forward, because that's honestly not really a big thing in the comic. Because the only thing
Lobo is not present at all in the comic. And when he was originally done, I thought they were going to switch him out for who is the villain in the comic. Like I thought they were just gonna, instead of doing that villain, they were gonna do Lobo. Yeah. But we know that person is in the movie, so
my thing is like in the comic, it's kind of like a whole chase thing. Like they're chasing over the main villain.
Very globetrotting.
Yes, and I think that my hope is that they're going to use Lobo as the thing that's going to chase them as they're chasing something else.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So it's like he is important enough, but he's not going to be. I think he'll be like in in some movies where it's like they walk in with like a cigar and they're like, they were here, and then they'll walk right back out.
I got you. Enough to justify his presence, but not enough to take the what do you call it? To take the spotlight away.
Exactly.
So yeah. So going from that, let's jump into the other two trailers. And for anybody who doesn't want spoilers, I'll give you, right now, we're gonna start talking about the leaked trailers for Doomsday, the leaked trailers for Brand New Day, whether you're watching it video or audio. I'm sure Robert will put like a little timestamp, so you can skip there. Let's see here. So Rob, first off, I want to ask you, did you see both of these?
I did see both of them. And I have two vastly different opinions about both of them, but overall, this sucks. I think like it sucks that things get leaked, but part of me does think like, oh, I think some of it has to do with like marketing. I do think that they're trying to get it out there a little bit.
See, and I thought, so for those of you who don't know, the Doomsday trailer and the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer were leaked primarily on Twitter, because Twitter if you put it on YouTube, it's gonna get taken down. Instagram's gonna get taken down. Twitter's just a cesspool. They're
It's the Wild West out there.
Yeah, it's just gonna continue to get re-uploaded. So the Doomsday trailer was released yesterday. That was December 16th. Then today we had the brand new, or I guess end of yesterday, beginning of today, we've had that brand new trailer, brand new day trailer kind of leak out. And, you know, I was going to say, because I kind of had that thought at first. I was like, oh, this is a PR stunt. You know, we're leaking the trailer. But with that being said, Marvel is taking down people's accounts. Marvel is like actively doing DMCA takedowns. They're actively going after people in a legal sense. And when this brand new day trailer came out, a lot of people were like, oh, it's fake. You know, but then Sony followed suit. They started doing the same thing. So if it is a PR stunt, that's so fucking shitty. Why are you going to bait everybody and then, you know, immediately swap it? Put it out on purpose, and then they're taking... Because some people can lose their YouTube channels, their whatever over that. So, I don't know. I kind of don't feel like it's...
Really? Okay.
I don't feel like it's that. I mean, if it is that... I guess to me, I would rather believe that they wouldn't do that, you know, like, oh, let's get some buzz, but also let's fuck up some people's life. Like,
I can see that. And it also sucks because like that trailer was also, at least the Doomsday trailer was supposed to come out like this week also with like the addition of, I think it's that wasn't Avatar, but it was like.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out on the front end of Avatar Fire and Ash.
Okay.
So we're supposed to be getting that together. So yeah, I mean, for the Doomsday trailer, I mean, I think that one's a leak that I'm like, while it does kind of suck for the people at Marvel that it leaked, it's kind of a nothing burger trailer a little bit. You know, I know a lot of people had opinions, including myself, but like if I wasn't already going to see Avatar and I went to see that trailer, I would get my money back. Like, it's, you know, it's if you haven't watched it or you don't remember, it's just Steve Rogers rolling up to his home that it looks like he has with Peggy that he went back to at the end of Endgame. He's holding his baby. There's a brief scene of him like, some people are saying he's putting it down, but he's like taking it out of a drawer, like his Captain America suit, and he's like putting it down, almost like he's gonna get ready to use it. And then it says Steve Rogers will return, and that's it. And then it has a countdown to Avengers Doomsday. And on one end, I'm like, what a nothing burger trailer to get everyone hyped about. But at the same time, not only is it a nothing burger trailer, but the something that is in it is bullshit.
So I think they really did. It's really interesting how I'm going to talk about it. Someone that works in marketing, I think they picked a very good first trailer to put out there because it is something that is going to tear a community apart. It is going to drive conversation. It's going to tell them like, hey, here is a well-known character that we have kind of not necessarily killed off, but have retired. We saw the end of Endgame, where he hands over the shield to Sam, and so a lot of people are going to be like, oh, like yourself, that are like, oh, hey, like Sam's not going to have enough time to do X, Y, and Z. Why are we bringing this person back? So it is driving up engagement like crazy. And then two, now everyone's like, okay, so then what's the story? So like they're saying like, is Steve Rogers going to be a main character of the story now of like, which God, I hope not.
I hope not either, but it almost feels like then why show that? Like, and if it's because it's either you're showing that he's going to be a main character, which in itself I think is shitty. And to get on that tangent real quick, I don't know how, and I've always been upset about this RDJ casting because one of two things. If he is directly Victor Von Doom, why the fuck are we casting RDJ? Cillian Murphy's right there, right? Now, if it's the second thing that people are more leaning towards, he's a Tony Stark variant, or he's a Tony Stark that became Victor Von Doom, that's fucking worse. Like, either way, it's bad. Like, either way, it's not a story route that I think is like that they should have taken. And my other, kind of bouncing off that is I have this feeling, this thing in the pit of my stomach, and I hope I'm wrong. But this whole thing, because Marvel has come out, the Russo brothers have come out, and I think RDJ as well. They've come out and said he's playing Victor Von Doom. I think it's going to be something where it's either a variant Tony or a Tony Stark that we know they got transported somewhere else, and he has to give up his name of Tony Stark, and he takes on the name Victor Von Doom or some bullshit.
Okay, so there is some... You have not read the Ultimates.
I've read like the original, like probably 6 issues of the new Ultimates.
The new Ultimates.
No, I'm talking about like the early
original
2000s Ultimates. Yeah.
So there's a thing with Victor Von Doom in the new Ultimates.
Is it that?
Very similar. That I think I can say it because it is.
You can tell me I'm not going to read that shit.
Yeah. Well, just because the universe is ending already. It's ending in December and January. The premise of this new Ultimate universe,
which it would make sense if they're taking cues from that Ultimate Universe, because apparently this universe is going to have a soft reboot. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So with this one, how this world begins is that the Maker escapes from the prison on 616.
Okay.
And he goes to a brand new universe, and he goes there and he stops the development of superheroes. So like when he gets there, he like steals the spider away from Peter Parker before he gets bit. So he doesn't become Spider-Man. He like permanently handicaps Hank Pym. So he's not this intelligent person that can create this, Pym particle or anything to shrink and grow.
But there is an Ultimate Spider-Man book.
I'll get to you then.
Okay.
Get to that. So what happens is the Maker is basically rebuilding this world where there are still superhumans, but they're under his control. Okay. So like he like helps like brainwash the Hulk. So now the Hulk is like a part of like this part of the world. Like so he's in charge of like this part of Asia. Okay. And so it's split up between all these people. So how the rest of the universe begins to get to like develop is that Howard Stark is like seen as like this good guy, and he discovers like, oh, the Maker's been doing this. Like he's been like we were supposed to be as like developed further than this.
But he handicapped all the people that would have helped us get there.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's like, I need to figure out how to like fix this. So what he does is, I don't remember if it's him or his son, because Tony Stark is obviously in it. He's
Howard Stark's son. No,
he's 17 years old. So he's Iron Lad in this.
Okay.
And so something happens basically where Howard Stark causes himself and the Maker to be trapped in this dome for 2 years. And so basically it's Iron Lad's job to bring back superheroes. He creates these things called origin boxes, which he sends out around the world to the people that were supposed to get them. Mm-hmm. So Peter Parker gets this origin box that has the spider in it, and it has this suit. It says, this was ripped away from you. This is how. So that's how like all these people come to be. Where Doom comes into it is that when the Maker comes into this new universe, he finds this version's Reed Richards kills the Fantastic Four besides him, and says like puts him in the mask and says, your name is Doom, and like just like tortures him until finally it's very like, if you've seen Game of Thrones, like the Reek thing with Theon. So our Reed Richards is Doom in the Ultimates. So if that's kind of the way that they kind of long-winded explanation, if that's kind of how they go with it, then I'm like, I can see if they're taking inspiration from that, but I truly just don't know.
But see, with all that being said, even that I'd be upset about. Like, okay. I think for me, like they really, they gave us a great ending in Endgame, right? And then they kind of pass along this torch, whether literally to Sam Wilson to become the new Captain America, which is the thing I'm the most upset about, obviously. Mm-hmm. I'm the biggest Sam Wilson stan you're going to find. But not only that, but we have so many other characters. Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau, Kate Bishop, even the other Avengers that are still around, Hulk, Thor. And we can do so many things with those characters. And we're just choosing not to. And I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, and the conversation always comes up where it's like, well, the Captain America movie wasn't that great. The new Captain America movie was not great. People didn't like She-Hulk. People didn't go see the Marvels and all that. And I'm like, okay, why did we get... Because Iron Man, and maybe you'll shoot me for this, has one good movie.
No, I'll agree with you.
Okay, he has one good... And it's the first one. Mm-hmm. And then he has 2 severely okay movies. The second movie is like... How did... And I get they were profitable, but like... What they did is the second movie came out, a lot of criticisms. Let's work on his character more in the third movie. A lot of criticisms. Let's work on his character more in Civil War. Like, they develop, and they did that with Thor too. Like, literally, the second Thor movie also was shit. Like, and so they went, Taika, come here, let's do Thor 3. So why is it that that's the excuse for them, And for Sam Wilson, it's like, well, the movie didn't do good, so they're not going to make more. Well, bitch, make another one.
Yeah.
and tighten it up. And then also, but then we have other ones like Shang-Chi that were profitable.
Yeah.
Why are we not focusing on those new Avengers? Why are we, especially because we're already bringing back the X-Men. Mm-hmm. We've seen that. We're already bringing back the some of the other like Fox characters potentially, right? Why are we...
Deadpool got a movie before Sam Wilson had 2 movies, which is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like we had the acquisition and immediately like Deadpool movie. Let's go.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. And I'm just kind of like, that's wild. That's wild. And again, I'm not trying to just make it about Sam Wilson. I'm just saying in general, we have so many other characters. There's so many other toys in the toy box. Why do we got to go back to Steve Rogers?
I'm surprised that we have not had, and we're going to get a little bit into this after we talk about Spider-Man, but like, I'm surprised that like a Champions run, like with like, has not been made because we have Kamala, Kate Bishop, you know, or like a Young Avengers or whatever. I'm surprised that they haven't started to develop that, and that's not a huge thing because Kate Bishop came in 2020. It's like 5 years ago.
And they hinted at it, you know, with there's like that Disney cruise thing where they had America Chavez, Kate Bishop, and Riri all sitting there. And then nothing.
Yeah.
Like, so, I don't know. And genuinely, and maybe this is my soapbox, Rob can cut it if he wants, but there's something about it to me that is like, why did we get to the non-white characters and we don't want to push those characters? Why are we not getting more America Chavez? Why are we not getting more Riri Williams? Why are we not really pushing those things along? Why have we gotten Black Panther Forever that did really well and there's no follow-up for Namor yet? There's no follow-up for Shuri's Black Panther. And those aren't like movies that didn't do well like domestically and globally. They did well. It just feels like they're not putting... We got so much subpar bullshit that got thrown out. I don't understand why we stopped doing it when the palette changed.
Yeah.
But that's also just my thing.
I do think a big thing about that is COVID. I do think COVID really did fuck up a lot of ideas because, I mean, that is what, 2-3 years that people could not make.
I mean, I hear you, but I think you hit it on the head. How did we get the acquisition of Fox and immediately a Deadpool movie?
Yeah.
And not only a Deadpool movie that brought back Hugh Jackman and Blade and all. They were so quick to be like, oh, now we have all these things in our toy box. Let's play with them. Mm-hmm. But these things that they've had sitting in the toy box, they're not doing anything with.
Even Gambit got an appearance.
Dude, that's wild. That's wild. We've gotten more appearances fucking Gambit than we have the new Captain America. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. The Spider-Man trailer also leaked. I've seen bits and pieces of it. This one was harder to watch.
Yeah, I saw all 5 pixels of it. It was perfect.
Dude, the pixels are shit, and there's also it's unfinished VFX.
Yes.
You know, there's you see it all. There's some great cool shots. The homage to the Boomerang cover, the homage to
Amazing Fantasy 15.
Yes, exactly. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm glad that immediately it has a visual flavor, because the other fucking ones didn't.
Can I say that I am... the more I hear about this movie coming out, right, the more I'm like, oh no. Because like, because I mean, like, the Hulk is in it.
Okay.
The Hulk is in it. The Punisher's in it. Sadie Sink, whoever she's going to be, is in it. Matt Garkin's in it. You know, like, it's all these different things.
And then obviously we're having like the Boomerang character in there. We have Spider-Man in a pose that looks like he's fighting the tarantula from the comics.
So I do think we're going to get like cut. Like, this is like, hey, we're catching up to like where he is.
Oh yeah,
now.
I think everything that we saw. I mean, not everything, but I think a lot of that stuff that we saw is montage. Like, it's going to be like, and he also has the voiceover. Like, I'm Spider-Man, and which some people were complaining about. And I was like, the Miles Morales movie did that, and we all loved it.
The original Spider-Man movie did it. Like,
that's,
yeah.
That's
like, you want to know who I am?
Yeah, sure? that's kind of
that's kind of Spider-Man. Like, when you read a Spider-Man comic, it's all like mostly his thoughts.
And I've said this before. I think that actually contributes to Spider-Man's character, because we can either get like a really cool interest. We can either get in comic form a shitload of thought bubbles. Or we can get in movie form some type of introduction or voiceover for the beginning of a film, which is fine, because the alternative is the 97 Spider-Man cartoon where he's like, Scorpions ran this way. Aunt May's gonna be so upset with me. Scorpion, there you are. He just jumped on the roof. Who is this guy? Like, you know what
Nonstop yapping and
yeah. So I mean, I think that's good. That I didn't have any issues with. I think, like you said, from what we hear about the movie and from what I saw in the trailer, I have this, again, like gut feeling and kind of a reminder of Amazing Spider-Man 2, where it feels like there's a lot going on, because now we're going to have Tombstone in this movie, at minimum even if in a montage form, we're having the Tarantula, we're having Boomerang, we're having, or his name's not Boomerang. Is it Boomerang?
I don't believe
No, his name's something else, but Tarantula, the Boomerang fucker. And I know we're going to have like 3 other ones that we haven't seen, and we're going to see Scorpion, like you said. And then, is it Boomerang?
It's Boomerang.
Okay. And then we are also going to see
Sadie Sink.
Sadie Sink is whatever secret character she is. I'm holding out for Firestar.
I was also holding up for Firestar.
I know there's been some other stuff that come out that I'm not happy with.
Yes.
Because and then the Punisher's in it, and then the Hulk is in it. And it's just coming off as like there's so much shit going on. Now, the director doing Spider-Man is, I don't remember his name, but he's the same director who did Shang-Chi. Mm-hmm. So I trust that he can balance all these things. But there is a part of me that, like, Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2, when there's so much shit going on. You know what I mean? Like, this feels like more stuff going on than No Way Home.
I also, and this might be just me personally, I don't like that Punisher is in it.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't.
I vibe with that.
I know it's more of like a ground level sort of thing, you know, like kind of Defenders sort of, you know, they're not in the Defenders, but like, you know, like I'm saying like
more ground level New York street crime.
So like that would kind of make sense, but I'm just thinking.
But then it's like Sadie Sink's supposed character. Yeah.
But I'm also just thinking like, I was like, oh, like he's like, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm here to save you, and just murdering people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like they have those scenes in Daredevil, you know, the original Daredevils where it's Daredevil and, you know, Punisher talking about that.
Yeah.
And then it's just, to me, it's just like so funny to think like, oh, I'm here to save you.
Did he scream?
I think he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's John Bernthal's thing. Like he fires a gun, and it, like, for some reason, twists his nuts. He's like, oh! Every time he fires a gun.
But yeah, So do you still think that Sadie Sink is Firestar? I'm
holding that. This is just my delusional Delulu hope that she's Firestar, and then that's our into the X-Men, and then we're gonna get Bobby Drake, and then we're gonna get like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends kind of deal. But I don't know, but apparently he's losing his powers as well.
Yeah,
and like that's the whole thing. So are we doing Man Spider? Are we leading up to that? Like, you know,
how we're talking about this right now is like we seem exasperated, right? Versus the conversation that we had earlier about Supergirl. So do you think that the MCU overall is in trouble?
Well, here, hold up. So before that, we'll put it here.
Okay.
Like we're coming back. If you didn't want spoilers,
yes,
this is the part where you come back in. So for the non-spoiler people, we skip the spoilers for you. Sean is a synth. So,
what a callback.
So now you're saying, after talking about all that, and we'll try to be a little spoiler free.
Yes.
For this. What were you saying about the MCU?
So like compared to the conversation that we were having before about Supergirl, you know, like oh, this is really cool compared to the conversation we're having about
now we're like,
yeah. Do you think that the MCU is in trouble? Like overall?
I think the MCU is like the stock market. Where it can be in such fucking trouble, and it just takes one good day. Just takes one good day to bring it back up. Because, you know, and because it's the meme, right? Like, you know, we get the Marvels. Oh, the MCU's shit. The MCU's done. The MCU's cooked. We get Shang-Chi. The MCU's back. And then, you know, it's that back and forth kind of thing.
The Marvels is a good movie.
Okay, listen.
We can talk about that like some other time.
Well, no, I'll be totally honest with you. I never finished the Marvels.
Really? I really liked them.
I got 20 minutes in and I couldn't do it. I also did that with Ant-Man Quantumania.
Didn't finish it. No, didn't even watch it. Didn't even start it.
I started it, and me and my wife were watching it, and there's a part at the beginning where he's like meeting Janet Van Dyne. Literally like in the first 5 minutes of this fucking movie. And like he goes like this, and a terrible CGI Ant-Man suit goes over him, and he does this shit. And I was like, we're not doing this.
That's enough of that.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing this today. But anyway, like, you know, people go back and forth, and I think that's all it takes. Like, you know, we were saying last year, was it last year or like the other year, like Deadpool and Wolverine broke the box office records. The MCU is so back. And then Brave New World came out. And then that one shitty white guy on YouTube was like, Captain African American sucked. The MCU's dead. I forgot his name, but I fucking hate him.
Also, not a bad movie. I generally, I think the first 15 to 30 minutes in that movie is not good. And then the rest.
Really?
Yeah. I think once they start,
which is wild because that's all reshoots.
Oh, then
the whole first 15 minutes is all reshoots.
Once it starts with the Isaiah Bradley stuff at the White really House, then I'm like, oh, it's like boom, boom.
No,
boom,
it's a fun movie, and it keeps going. I'm not going to sit here and say it's cinema, and I wouldn't even say it's up to par with the other Captain America movies.
Yeah,
but it's fun. It's not bad
for the first, Sam Wilson movie. It's good.
Yeah, and then again, Thunderbolts comes out. The MCU is back. Fantastic Four comes out. The MCU might not be back. So my whole thing is, I think that the MCU isn't in trouble. I think they can course correct. But there is a part of me that's kind of like, we at the same time, while there is, it takes one good day, I think it takes like 3 strikes, and then potentially people are, I don't think superhero fatigue is a real thing, but I do think bullshit fatigue is a thing.
I agree.
And I don't think it's about that it's superheroes. I don't think it's about people in capes or colorful costumes. It's about quality, and we're gonna get annoyed with eating at Golden Corral the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my thing. But with that being said, Robert, do you think the MCU is in trouble? And if you do, going to your question you had presented earlier, first off, answer that. Do you think the MCU is in trouble?
I think so. To me, it's like if I was in like the MCU office right now, right? And I was like, okay, this is what's kind of bombing. This is like all the stuff that we have right here. I would be scared. Especially seeing like how well James Gunn has done, at least with Creature Commandos is coming out. I think everyone forgets Creature Commandos is technically the first new DCU property.
Yeah.
And then, Peacemakers, iffy, it's up there, season 2. And then David Cornsweet's Superman. Like those ones are kind of like, they're honestly like banger, like right after each other. Of course, there's like some stuff you can discuss a little bit with Peacemaker season 2. But overall, I think like,
the quality is there.
The quality is there. James Gunn is doing fantastic.
Yeah, because even like the Peacemaker thing, like you're saying, like people have opinions on the last episode, but they have opinions on it because it's so good.
Yes,
the whole show is so good that like if this one thing, it's not like the full thing. It's not a whole movie. It's not a whole era of movies like MCU. But sorry, go ahead.
No. Overall, I think like Marvel was doing very, very well until like 2023, I would say, because I honestly think those first original Marvel TV shows were great. They were great, and I think like if going to the question that we were going to be talking about, how would we fix it? I would go back to TV shows. Like I think like the movies we save for the big blockbuster ones, if like in the very future, Avengers versus X-Men or X-Men Apocalypse, taking those stories on there. But I think we should really get back to these TV shows to start introducing these characters on a more like on a better basis, like a more personal, like like face to face sort of thing to be able to lower budgets.
Yes.
Lower budgets for sure. And then 2, you get to like start introducing these characters that people know and love. Like I would love to see like, a giant size X-Men TV show where it's like, hey, like this is kind of like the story of X, Y, and Z.
And we get more character work.
Yeah. Like give me this Marvel season 2.
We learned so much more about Kamala Khan in a show than we did in the movie. We learned so much more about Scarlet Witch in her WandaVision show than we did in any of the 3-4 movies she was in at that point. Same with Sam Wilson. We learned so much more about him, his family, and all that. So when you dive into those things as a show, like you're saying, it gives you more time, but also you get lesser budget. I think that's a great idea because then, like you said, you save money. You don't got to do everything. But I also think that's a great idea in the way that inherently there's something about the episodic nature of intaking media that people like. And I think that's why we like the MCU so much, because it was a big TV show. You know what I mean? For regardless of if you're like, this is cinema, this is film, whatever, it's a big TV show because it continued all the time. And I think that even goes back to comic books, why people like comic books. It's an episodic thing. You get your fix. There's an ongoing thing. And it's not always a big bombastic, the world's ending. It's, we're looking for someone who got kidnapped. That's perfect for a TV show. Tell those stories. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, like I said, like, of course, we're always going to have the big, larger movies or whatever. But I think, to me, if I was in charge, if it was going to be an origin story, give me a TV show. Yeah. And then when you're going to have like the big, larger Doomsdays, I don't want to see another Ant-Man Quantumania. That could have been a TV show. I could have skipped, like, but I could have skipped it. But, like these stories that like we know and love, I don't really know anything about Ant-Man Quantumania, what it's based on or whatever. But I mean, like these stories, like I always go back to Hawkeye. How fucking great was Hawkeye?
Hawkeye was really good.
Based off of the Matt Fraction book, and like getting Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, and then kind of just like, all right, well, I guess we'll see her in 15 years when she's 30.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, and that's my thing, whether it's the shows that did really well, like Hawkeye, or the shows that didn't do so well, like She-Hulk, like they're still, what's the word? They're still,
like relevant
relevant, but there's still potential for those characters to tell us some really fun stories, because you have to, I feel like people go, oh, that was a bad show. That was a bad movie. I don't want to see that character again. I can't tell you, like literally, if you printed out the sheet of good Batman comics to bad Batman comics, it's going to skew bad. Like that's just how it is when you have these characters. So I feel like people think one project that doesn't quite hit the mark, I don't want to see that anymore. And unfortunately, Hollywood's going to listen to that because they're going to follow the dollar signs, right? But from someone who reads a lot of comics, like that's just how it is, and you got to be okay with that.
You get a new writer, pick up a new arc, and it's like, oh man, this book is fucking peak.
The last run of Daredevil, the Ahmed run, garbage, not good. It ended terribly. It's not good. But does that mean I'm any less excited about Stephanie Phillips doing it next year? No, I'm a hype as fuck. I'm hyped as fuck for that. So yeah, I hear you.
What would you do? Like, what are your overall ideas of like fixing MCU?
Yeah, I loved your idea about the TV shows. I think I would have done like focusing more on those characters that we introduced that we didn't get more of. I think we should have Shang-Chi 3 already. Like, I don't know why we're not. I don't know how we went from Thor 1 in 2012, Thor 2 in 2013, and then Thor 3 in fucking 2015, 16, whatever it was. Like, bam, bam, bam. Like, and I don't know how we're not doing that with these other characters. I don't know why it took so long, because Avengers Endgame was 2019. And in 2025, we got Sam Wilson's Captain America movie. What the fuck is that? Like, and then Shang-Chi, I don't remember what year Shang-Chi came out. I want to say it was like,
I think it was 2022.
It feels like 2020. Was it 21? Here, you'll tell me right now.
Yeah. 21.
21? We could have had at least a second one already. Yeah. And by Marvel numbers, within 5 years, what is that? 2016? Right? 2016 is, hold up.
2016, 2021?
No, we got Captain America 1 in 2011.
Right before, yeah.
And we got Batman v Superman and Civil War in 2016. Within 5 years, we had 3 Captain America movies with Chris Evans. And you're telling me it's been 5 years, we haven't gotten another Shang-Chi. We haven't gotten another, specifically Miss Marvel movie. We haven't gotten more Sam Wilson Captain America stuff. I don't know what the fuck that's about. So I would have like really hit the ground running with that. Like, oh, we set this up, Captain America movie. Oh, our Shang-Chi movie was a hit. Production for the second movie. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we did this thing where we focused on the wrong fucking characters. We should have Iron Man'd everybody. Where like Ant-Man after the second movie, supporting role, baby. Like the Hulk, and I know the Hulk's for different reasons, but put those guys in supporting roles. We didn't need a Quantumania movie, We did. I would argue, I don't think we needed a Marvels movie. I think we needed a Miss Marvel movie.
I think we got two birds with one stone with the Marvels, because you got Captain Marvel 2, and then you get Kamala's first like big space adventure.
I guess, and but I would have done that. I would have been like, let's focus on what we're building up to. So like, let's do that Guardians and Thor movie if we're gonna do it. Let's not just write off whatever the fuck Thor 4 did. With, you know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. And I think the other thing is we should have gotten those projects, but we also should have done quality, not quantity. And I know I'm sitting here yelling about, I want more of it, but I wanted more of it because I know they can do it well. Like, we should have gotten Shang-Chi, Captain America, Miss Marvel movie. We shouldn't have gotten Quantumania, the Marvels, you know, all this other shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I just would have focused more on the characters that they had, been comfortable with playing in that toy box, and just trusted that if we show the love to these things, it will do well. Because also, I don't know if you know this, like for Brave New World, the original idea for it, the original casting, the end of that movie, there are set photos. Isaiah Bradley is supposed to have a battle suit and be fighting Red Hulk with Sam.
Damn.
They shot that. They shot it and it got cut from the movie. And I'm just like,
how great.
Fucking yeah, and then they took out the Serpent Society, which for Captain America stuff is such a big.
Well, it's the second time they've done that, right? Because I mean, like originally, like Civil War was supposed to be Serpent Society.
No,
right?
well, that was a gag. That was a gag. It was never actually going to be Serpent Society. But no, and like Seth Rollins lost out on his role.
Oh yeah,
in the Serpent Society. So I would have focused more on that. I would have that's really what I would have done. The straightforward answer is focused on what we had. Worried about putting as much love into those movies, letting the creative teams put the love and the care they wanted into those movies. Because when we let creatives do what they want, like the Russos, look what we get. When we let Jon Favreau do what he wants, look what we get. When we let Taika Waititi do what he wants the first time, look what we get. You know? So that would have been me. That would have been me.
Well, Kevin, you heard it here from us first. Take our advice. We're available. Hit us up on the TikToks and Instagrams and whatever. But I think that'll do it for our very first episode.
I think so as well.
Awesome.
I think so as well. Rob, that was fun.
That was fun. Hey, let's do it again.
Really?
Yeah.
How about-
Every week until we die.
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. Until we get bored of it. Okay.
Yeah. At least until I'm on life support.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Give me the last 2 weeks.
Nah, I'll be doing it until I die. No, I don't know. We'll see.
All right. And you know what's wild?
What's up?
I didn't mention Sonic's feet a single time in this episode.
Hey guys, we'll see you next week.
Hey!